following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
Flash. 30 years of the best sports talk in Middle Tennessee, featuring Tennessee Radio Hall of Famer George Plaster, Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame coach Watson Brown, and Young Guns Billy Derrick and Michael Sindrick. And now, here's your host, George Plaster.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome in the day before Thanksgiving. I hope all of you have a great turkey day. I hope you watch a lot of football. And I hope that the picks that I throw out there later in the day work swimmingly. Get the big W for Thanksgiving. Let's say hello to Coach Watson Brown, who joins us from up on the plateau. Watson, how are you?
George, I'm doing great. Thank you. Happy early Thanksgiving to you, since we won't be doing a show on that day. I'll go ahead and say happy Thanksgiving now to everybody. You,
and
Billy,
the same to you and your family.
Terry, everybody. Yep.
Absolutely. Terry's going to join us here in just a moment. Let's say hello to Billy Derrick. Okay, you got a bunch of brothers and sisters. Is Thanksgiving a loony bin?
Yes, it is, George. We're having it at our house. Got a big football game. It'll probably turn into a big tackle football game. My parents won't like that. But,
the Mud Bowl.
Yeah. Hopefully the rain holds off. That's a big thing we don't want to happen. But I got to ask Watson, do you have any words of encouragement? George talked about his picks coming up later in the show. Any words of encouragement for George?
I don't need
just
red hot.
George, good luck, man. Go get them. 100% in your corner. High five.
No, you're not.
All over the place.
No, you're not.
I'm so proud that you're leading the underdog picks. It's just everything's rosy.
It absolutely is.
I'll be thinking about you a bunch through Thanksgiving and hope all your games come through for you.
By the way, I want to thank, as one of the things that we give Thanksgiving for, to Ohio University, who absolutely obliterated Bowling Green last night. Watson, my winning percentage is now 50.1.
Go for it, boy.
Shoot for the stars.
You're way above the rats right now. So keep going in the straight line. And you're about to run out of games here pretty quick, so you're going.
Oh no, they're always games.
Oh, there's always. Well, that's true. You go right on into basketball too. So yeah, another hard pick for you last night with Ohio. That was a very competitive game. I don't know.
Yeah,
how
but
you
when
went to
you do
sleep
it
the night
against
before
the
picking
spread,
that game. There was so much to think about with that game. I mean, Bowling Green's really good.
No, it's not. Hold on. First of all, Bowling Green was 6-5 going into last night. Now,
look at who they beat. I think out of those 6 wins, 5 of them are in the bottom 10 of the country.
Wow, you have gotten negative.
That's not negative. Just look it up.
No, you're just trying to downgrade.
I just told you another tough pick for you. Picking the Preds the night before, and then Ohio with playing Bowling Green, for God's sakes.
What else was I supposed to pick? It was the only football game on there.
Well, there was basketball last night, wasn't there?
Oh, I'm going with the football.
Yeah, don't put it off to a side, because that one was marked as soon as you saw it. Said, "Ooh, mark that one fast." I mean, jeez.
Enjoy your cranberries.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Let's check in with Terry McCormick. I don't like Watson's attitude right now, Terry. I would describe it as belligerent.
Terry loves it. Terry loves it. Believe me. This
Terry,
is one of them old double team type days.
And I sense some bitterness from Watson. I mean, but the underdog picks will do that to you.
Oh, especially when you lose all the time.
Yes.
I'm looking at the standings right now. You have dipped a tad.
Where am I, by the way? I don't even know.
Well, you'll find that out in about an hour.
It's the same
Let
way
me
I find
say
out
this.
who I pick.
It's a report card you might want to trash.
Well, it would be trash with a whole bunch of others.
Yeah. So, Terry, we got the Titans in Cincinnati on Sunday in a game that, of course, is a rematch of the playoff game a year ago. Joe Burrow looks like he's getting, with Chase, he's getting the receiver core healthy. Isn't this a game where the Titans secondary has to come up huge?
It is, and it's one where they don't know. They probably are going to get Amani Hooker back for this ball game. Remains to be seen if they're going to get Christian Fulton back. We'll know more maybe today what his status is. But the bigger deal is they have got to get that pass rush. The pass rush, and Jeffrey Simmons talked about this yesterday. He was asked about the pass rush, and yes, they got 9 sacks on Joe Burrow, but he said the bigger deal to them was that in those 9 sacks, they did not knock the football out one time. So against a high-powered offense like this, they think they've got to come up not only with sacks, but they've got to get a turnover out of this deal somewhere to make it easier on their offense and try to be able to slow down this Bengals attack.
Terry, wasn't the discouraging piece of that? I mean, when a quarterback gets sacked 9 times, you hear things like body bag and I had to take him out, and with Burrow, it didn't happen that way. He kept his poise. That was the thing I walked out of the stadium saying, it's hard to rattle this kid.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he, as the old commercial would say, took a licking and kept on ticking because, the Titans beat and battered him pretty badly in that game. And then, it happened in a couple of their other playoff games. He would take some hard hits and not the type of shots you want your quarterback taking on a consistent basis, but he would always manage to get up from it. And not only get up from it, he would get the ball out and make plays behind a patchwork offensive line. Now, they have revamped that offensive line this year. They've got a couple of guys who are different than what they had out there last year in that playoff game that was getting Burrow pounded. And early in the year, he was still taking some shots. So it's going to be interesting to see how that line handles Jeffrey Simmons and DeMarcus Walker and Bud Dupree and the likes of that Titans front this time around.
Oh, it's going to be an interesting game. There's no doubt about it. I mean, there's a lot of emotional stuff in this. Terry, leave me maybe with one more piece of news, and then we'll wish you happy Thanksgiving.
All right, George. The thing to me to keep an eye on with this Titans game on the offensive side is Treylon Burks. He had a breakout game against the Packers in that Thursday night contest, had his first 100-yard receiving game. I believe that this guy has got to be a big contributor going down the second half of the season for the Titans. If they want to keep this offense balanced and if they want to take the pressure off of Derrick Henry, they're going to have to continue to get solid work from Treylon Burks for the remainder of this season, because not only will Burks help, but that will open things up for some of these other guys who were struggling early on, the Robert Woodses, the Nick Westbrook-Akinas, and if they ever get him back, Kyle Phillips.
Terry, for all the grief I give you, and it's a lot, I am very thankful to have you as a friend over a 20-year plus friendship that we've had. I hope you and your family have a great Thanksgiving, and I kind of hope Aaron Judge signs with the Giants.
Wow. You just had to go there, didn't you?
You like how he buttered you up there, Terry?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, maybe Dansby Swanson will wind up a Met.
Oh. Wow. Oh, wow. Happy Thanksgiving to me.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
Yeah. Hey, where's your bowling, preparation?
Let's see. The last time I bowled, I think, was last year's event.
You still scored better than Watson, though, who had his wife doing the pinch hitting.
Yes, I managed to break 100, so I was happy. I had over 100 both games, so I was pleased.
Okay, listen, happy Thanksgiving, Watson. I know you feel the same way for Terry.
Yeah, Terry's a good friend. Gotten to know him well and think a lot of him. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your family, Terry.
Absolutely. You guys have a happy Thanksgiving as well.
Okay, Terry, thank you as always.
All right.
That was Terry McCormick's Daily Titans Update.
It has been brought to us by the Justin Tucker team with Platinum Realty Partners. They are proven to be trusted with your most personal asset. The Justin Tucker team, they are Middle Tennessee's most trusted team in realty. Give them a call at 615-906-8458. Also, Sumner Funeral and Cremation. They are sharing their family with yours in your time of need. Now with 2 convenient locations in Gallatin and Hendersonville, and also online at sumnerfuneral.com. Okay, let's get to today's update. We start in the NFL.
Not the most pleasant update we'll ever have.
No, it's kind of a sad update heading into Thanksgiving, but Arizona Cardinals offensive line coach and running game coordinator Sean Kugler was fired by the team after reportedly groping a woman in Mexico City, according to Josh Weinfuss of ESPN. The Cardinals played the 49ers on Monday Night Football in Mexico City, of course. Just crazy. I mean, that's not what you expected after a game like that.
No, and I don't want to go very far with this, but Watson, if you're Cliff Kingsbury, you got enough problems. Your starting quarterback hadn't played for a couple of games. You know, there's certainly a possibility that Kingsbury could get fired at the end of the year because this season has gone south. And then they get back, you know, from Mexico City where they were anything but the home team. And then he's got to deal with that. I mean, this is where I kind of feel for a coach.
Yeah, distractions are worse than you think. A lot of things in my business, George, were magnified. They weren't as bad as it looked. But enter problems like this, like happened up at Tennessee with the players, if that's what's been reported, are bigger than you think. They are real distractions and can really derail you in some ways. And it's just like the DUI with the Titans. If that's a college guy, he's gone. I mean, that guy's fired on the spot in college. You don't get to hang around with that. And so it's just those kind of things are worse, even where I usually say things are overblown. These things are worse on the inside than they are on the outside.
Pleasant story number 2.
Yeah, really interesting one here at the college level. Ohio State AD Gene Smith has issued a statement after Michigan State hockey player alleged a Buckeyes player directed a racial slur at him multiple times during a game earlier this month. Spartans player Jagger Joshua, who is black, of course, shared his experience on social media from the November 11th game at home in which the Spartans defeated the Buckeyes. But after reviewing the situation, Smith has publicly apologized on behalf of Ohio State and announced that Sedloka is not currently with the team. The player, of course, that committed that.
So the only question I've got about it is, Watson, the one of the officials heard it and gave the guy, I don't know, what was it, a misconduct penalty?
Yeah.
Why are you not throwing him out if you hear that?
I don't know if official can. I don't know. I don't know what the rule would be, but how does Ohio State wait till now to get rid of the kid? If they knew this happened during the game and the official tells them this is what he said, how does Ohio State not just right there? How's the coach not take him out of the game right on the spot?
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly some question marks to it. I don't think Ohio State's people found out until this kid went social media on it.
Yeah.
Although I wonder how that is. Watson's raising a really good point.
Yeah, I mean, if the official went over and told the coach what was said, there's a penalty, and this is what's said, how's it not going any further right there? You're out of the game.
That is where I would have stopped it.
Absolutely.
I'd have sent him packing.
Yep.
Okay, do we have pleasant stories, heartwarming?
Well, I don't know if this is heartwarming, but
it is if you're an Astro.
Yeah, it'll help out that wallet a little bit.
This one.
A full postseason share for the World Series champion Astros totaled a record of $516,347 from a player pool of $107.5 million. Also a record in the first season. The playoffs were expanded to 12 teams. They split the $38.7 million into 59 full shares, 14 partial shares, and $940,000 in cash awards. The commissioner's office said on Wednesday.
Watson, I need a cash award, and I need it now.
I know what we all make. I think we can make a good living on those cuts, guys.
Cash award, baby. Bring it on.
I'll take one of those.
Bring it on. God.
Oh, man. Last piece here, Lane Kiffin. We've got another Lane Kiffin breaking news. Amid speculation he's leaving for Auburn, he met with his players yesterday and assured them that he hasn't accepted a job at any other school.
Okay, stop there. Stop there. I brought this point up yesterday. Watson, if a coach walks into his players and says, look, I know you're hearing all this stuff. I want to assure you that I have not accepted anything anywhere. Do you believe that there's a kid in the room that goes, Coach, I got a question. Look us in the eye and tell us you're not going anywhere.
There ain't a kid in the room's got that kind of guts.
You don't think so?
That ain't happening. That ain't happening.
Okay.
You're asking for a possibility.
Imagine this, though, and this is me being a total smart aleck. But
if you're sitting there, you wouldn't do it either. So don't act like Mr. Tough Guy right here. Because if you're sitting in that room, you ain't standing up and asking that question.
Like heck, I wouldn't have.
No, you would not. It's different when you're on the team playing. Yeah, okay, big guy. Yeah, pat your chest. Yeah, you a tough old dude. Yes, sir. Go for it.
You're not that guy, George.
I've sat in that chair many times, buddy. There ain't no way you're saying that.
Coach, I have a question.
Yeah, okay. Go for it.
Oh, man.
Okay. So that's the end of the Lane Kiffin story.
Hey, but one last thing. He did not say I'm not taking the job.
Exactly.
He said, I haven't accepted the job. So that tells me this thing is still floating around.
Oh, yeah. There's some semantics here, which is why, as a player, I would have raised my hand and said, Coach, let's get real here.
We're done with
Coach,
that.
I have a question.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr.
Lord.
Tough Guy.
That's not even – you don't even need a response to that.
We're going to go to the break.
Hey, George, real quick here.
Yes.
Breaking news.
Breaking?
Yeah. The Jets are benching Zach Wilson.
They had no choice.
I mean,
did they really, Watson? I mean, I don't think they had any choice.
No, not by the way he's played, but by his actions after. Good gracious.
That could be pretty costly to his career if you look at it. I mean, I know he's young, but
who are they going with? White, the kid from Western Kentucky?
I think that is him.
Yeah.
So big opportunity for him.
This will be the second year in a row that he's gotten some playing time. A year ago was because of Wilson's injury.
He's a good player.
When we come back, you're going to hear from Vanderbilt football coach Clark Lee. Obviously, a huge game on Saturday. After that interview, Watson and I will do a tale of the tape of the Tennessee Vanderbilt game that I think you'll find very interesting. And then during the 5 o'clock hour, Underdog picks and Watson, something I know you're looking forward to, the Plaster bets of the weekend.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I can't eat turkey till I hear this.
Got to write them down.
Yeah, I'll put them down. I'm just watch them real close all weekend long.
I thought he was my friend. This is Main Street Media Television.
Buying or selling a home can be a very personal experience. Why not go with the team that receives nearly all of their business from referrals? Clearly a trusted name in real estate. The Justin Tucker team with Platinum Realty Partners has sold more than 500 homes in the last 7 years. Voted best in Sumner County multiple times. Proven to be trusted with your most personal assets. Call the Justin Tucker team with Platinum Realty Partners at 615-906-8458. The Justin Tucker team with Platinum Realty Partners, Middle Tennessee's most trusted team in realty.
I highly recommend Sumner Funeral and Cremation because of their caring nature and attentiveness to detail.
Pre-planning your funeral now will bring you peace of mind and less stress to your loved ones. When the chaos of losing you happens, your family can honor and celebrate your life, knowing things are happening just as you wanted them to. Pre-planning determines the details of your funeral, cemetery services, and can be less expensive. We are honored to serve you and are always here for you in your time of need.
Sumner Funeral and Cremation. Traditional, affordable, dignified. SumnerFuneral.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
This is Eric Berner with Rockcastle Wealth Advisors. I help people in the pursuit of making their money live as long as they do. People hire me because I use a customized, individualized, and personal approach for the person I'm working with. Everyone's situation is different. If you've lost a spouse or a parent and want to make sure your inheritance is utilized and does not just disappear, I can help with that. Call me at 615-235-1058 or email Eric at rockcastlewealth.com.
If we are honest, a lot of things have changed in the last 3 weeks. If you're a Vanderbilt fan, you were probably dreading the regular season finale against Tennessee, and with good reason. Team wasn't playing very well. Tennessee would have 90% of the stadium. They'd have a Heisman Trophy candidate in Hendon Hooker. Well, you know all this going in. But some things have changed. Tennessee doesn't have Hendon Hooker. Instead, they've got Joe Milton. Huge question mark. And Vandy all of a sudden has found something at the end of the year and gone back-to-back SEC wins at Kentucky, home against Florida. With all of this as a backdrop, our own Billy Derrick caught up with Commodore head coach Clark Lee.
Coach, you got a top 10 team coming into Nashville on Saturday night. It's the Tennessee Volunteers at First Bank Stadium, 6:30 p.m. local time kickoff on the SEC Network. And, Coach, I got to start here. After the Florida victory, obviously another fun post-game locker room celebration. It looks like you learned a few more dance moves. Did one of the players teach you a few more moves after the game?
I mean, they're trying, but I'm proving to be a difficult pupil, and it's not a good thing. My daughter – last night, she said to me, it was my 7-year-old, said, Dad, were you trying to do the gritty in the locker room? I said, I was. She goes, well, my friend Sarah, told me at school that you were, and that you were messing it up. So I need to teach you how to do gritty, what she told me. So I'm being taught on a number of levels here.
That's awesome, Coach. Obviously, the Florida game, was a success. You guys ended up winning 31-24. The Gators finished the game with only 45 rushing yards on 21 carries. That was a big discussion point. We talked about it last week. It was going to be a challenge. Your team was up for that challenge. How was your defense able to shut down one of the best rushing attacks in the country?
Well, we played structured, and I know that it sounds like coach speak, but you can design a play and have 11 guys in the right positions. You can stop the run. I mean, that's just the bottom line. And a lot of times explosive runs happen when, one of the 11 are in the wrong spot. And when that showed up on Saturday against us, there were a couple of runs they had where we didn't quite, fit it the way we were supposed to fit it. Fortunately for us, one of them was an illegal formation and one of them had a post-snap penalty against Florida. And so it negated the gains, and so our challenge becomes, how do we replicate that and then eliminate those one-offs that, are giving us a hard time. We saw that in the Kentucky game late where they broke the 70-yard run to take the lead. Those are lapses that we can't afford right now as a program. And so, we're gonna need to double down on that run defense heading into this weekend.
On the other side, Coach, you got Ray Davis, a guy that was able to get 30 carries, 122 yards. He's now 18 yards away from 1,000 on the season. What can you say about his production this season, but also his leadership as one of the veterans and really one of the leaders on that offense?
Well, he's persistent. He's a tough runner. There's not a lot of negative yardage plays with him. I think some of the best runs that he and Patrick Smith had on Saturday were runs where contact was made in the backfield, but they fought their way back to even a 0 yardage gain or a 3-yard gain. We were able to go in sequence and in rhythm and stay ahead of the chains, which opened up some things for us on third down. And even in some of the scoring drives, the 3rd down and 4 became a run play where we converted. And that's a luxury to have. So, that was where I was most impressed with his performance. And obviously, I think both through design and his execution, we've created some explosives in the run game as well. So we have to stay with that formula. Credit to the offensive line, credit to the receivers blocking on the perimeter, credit to our staff that I think has done a nice job of recrafting this run game after Missouri. But certainly credit to Ray and Patrick Smith and what they've been able to do.
Coach, you talk about the formula a lot of times, especially, these last couple weeks. It feels like you guys have developed a formula and a blueprint into a winning formula in the SEC. How would you describe that formula on all 3 phases, especially these last few weeks, that has really helped lead you guys to these back-to-back victories?
We've minimized our self-inflicted wounds, which has allowed us to capitalize on the mistakes of our opponent. We've been better at making the available play, which, is about, again, playing as 1 of 11 or playing within structure and, delivering what the team needs in the moment the team needs it. And that could be offensively, just in when the play design's right, we're making the catch or making the completion or making the run. Defensively, that could be 3rd down or early downs where 11 guys are in the right position and we're tackling the ball at or behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down where we have a blitz design that sets up and is executed well and we get off the field. Those are the areas where we've improved our performance. And by doing that, we've left less to chance. And then I think the other thing that I've been impressed with that has happened for us is, each phase has strengthened the next. And so when we faltered on defense, our offense has stepped up. When we faltered on offense, our defense has stepped in and stepped up. And obviously, I think special teams has been a really good bridge between the two. We have to continue that again for us to have success this weekend because we're playing against a really good team.
You led me right into it, Coach. Of course, Tennessee coming into Nashville on Saturday. I want to ask you about the rivalry, and obviously you played at Vanderbilt. You're from Nashville. you're fully aware of what this means to Vanderbilt fans and people in Nashville that wear that Star V and the V proudly. So what does this mean to you personally, but also, how do you convey that? What is the message to your team?
This game, what I need to do is prepare the team to win. And that for us has not been a focus on who we're playing against. It's been a focus on playing to our identity and playing to our highest level. And so we've simply just doubled down on our process, which means on Monday, we started the week by looking at, the 12 plays that, had the result gone the other way in the Florida game. We would have looked at these and say, these were the critical points of breakdown. We've focused on the areas that we can strengthen our performance to give ourselves to position our team in the best way possible to find success again. We're not at a point as a program where, focus on the opponent or focus on who we're playing outside of understanding what we're going to need to defend and what the defense is doing for our offense to go against. Those are things. How do we neutralize an opponent? How do we force them to play left-handed? Those are things that I'm interested in focusing on. The rest of it is extraneous and I think distracts from the mission, which is let's fight to extend our season by playing Vanderbilt football.
Coach, of course, Tennessee presents a unique challenge, at least separate from the last couple games here in the SEC schedule. What exactly makes it so tough to defend that Tennessee offense? We know Hendon Hooker won't be playing, but you talked about it earlier today. You said that's a system offense, and you don't see that deviating a whole lot, from their performance and what they want to do.
Yeah, they obviously they stress you out with tempo and formation. They stretch your defense, and they put the ball in the air. And this is a team that sets up the run through the pass and through that horizontal stretch and that vertical stretch, and that opens up puncture points for the run game. We're going to have our hands full. I think it's a situation where we have to be really disciplined in our design. We have to force them to go the long, hard way. Explosive touchdowns are a disaster with respect to, allowing this offense to thrive. And yet I believe that if we can force them to line it up and snap it as many times as possible, we can set up third down stops and we can set up wins in the red zone. That'll be the formula we take forward. And in addition to offensively hoping, again, to establish a run game and get into some game control drives where we limit possessions for them. Obviously, scoring touchdowns is critically important, and that's what South Carolina did a great job of. And then our special teams play has to continue to strengthen because, that's our opportunity to give them long fields and to force their offense into challenging field positions. That'll be, how we look at the game, and that's how we're going to try to interlock and play complementary. And I'm excited for the challenge, and so is our team. I mean, it's not that this is not a narrative that's been different from weeks past. It's just applied against a different team, and again, it'll be a great challenge for us.
First Bank Stadium sold out officially. Just got word from the Vanderbilt football Twitter account. So Vanderbilt fans are excited. Of course, everybody in the Southeast excited for this one. Vanderbilt, Tennessee coming up. Coach, thanks for taking the time and good luck on Saturday.
Hey, great to be with you. Take care.
Okay, there is a lot to sort out with this game because there has been a dramatic shift in what this looks like. And Watson and I are going to go tail to the tape here after the break. But there is a lot to sort out, and we're going to do it next on Main Street Media Television.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home
or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonleyTimmons.com.
At WellSkin Dermatology and Aesthetics, we pride ourselves in providing access, innovation, and a patient experience second to none. Access to care and treatment when you need it. Innovation with medical-led cosmetics and various on-site technologies for full-service treatments with a customer experience that is calming, casual, and effective. Independently owned, providing medical, surgical, pediatric, and cosmetic dermatology and more. Visit WellSkinMD.com to schedule your appointment today. WellSkin Dermatology and Aesthetics. Access to healthier skin. It's your last chance to get a spring tune-up for summer. Complete Service Heat and Air can clean your coils, check out your motor, and make sure you have cold air on that first hot day of summer. Complete Service Heat and Air is located in White Bluff, Tennessee. We do service and repair on heating and air the right way. 24/7 service. Call us at 615-797-3997. That's 615-797-3997. Serving Cheatham, Davidson, Dixon, Hickman, Humphreys, Montgomery, and Williamson counties. Have you heard about the high levels of radon in Middle Tennessee? Radon gas is the second leading cause of lung cancer, second only to smoking, and has no color, no taste, and no smell. The only way to know if you have radon is to test for it. Duret Radon Mitigation offers testing for small and large-scale residential and commercial properties, plus mitigation services. Visit DuretRadonMitigation.com to request testing or get a free estimate for mitigation. That's DuretRadonMitigation.com. Since 1865, the First Baptist Church of Gallatin on Winchester Street has served its community by catering to the least, the last, and the lost, providing a church of welcome used by God to save the lost, transform the saved, and impact its community. As a proud multi-ethnic congregation, Pastor Derek Jackson personally welcomes you to join them in fellowship Sunday mornings at 8 in person or at 1045 in person or online at firstbaptistgallatin.org. First Baptist Gallatin on Winchester Street, serving with open arms as a true church of welcome.
So Tennessee and Vandy go at it Saturday night in Nashville. It's a 6:30 kickoff. Watson, I just checked my little weather or whatever on my phone. 80% chance of rain with a lot of wind. And to me, that falls right into where we're going in a minute, which is every little intangible that Vandy could use to try to make this a close game is now in their favor. Do you buy that?
I think anytime the underdog is playing in bad weather, that's in favor of the underdog. But Vanderbilt's not throwing the ball very well anyway, and so they throw some passes in there to help them at critical times, but they're basically keeping the ball by running it. And so I think again that plays into it, and all the deep balls that Tennessee likes to throw. Now Joe throws such a hard ball, Milton, that I'm not sure the wind would affect his ball at all because it's going to rip right through everything. But yeah, I think that anytime the underdog gets the bad weather, it's a plus for the underdog.
Okay, let's go to the tail of the tape and sort of explain a little bit of where we're going. Tennessee's run has always been set up by the pass. I don't know if that's the case Saturday night or not, because the big question mark ultimately is Joe Milton. You've got them dead even in this category. Talk about it a little bit.
Well, I don't look at Tennessee as the pass sets up the run. I think they're very balanced in what they do. When they're within the chains, it's run, pass, run, pass. They're very balanced, which is what I've always believed in as an offensive guy. I've never wanted one to set up the other. I want them to not know which one's coming. And so I think that's Tennessee. They're very balanced. Their run is every bit as important to them as their passing game is. Vanderbilt's run is their big deal right now, and especially the quarterback's feet have been the difference, I think, since Mike Wright took over. The running game from the quarterback position has been the major difference. I don't think they win these two games with a freshman quarterback playing. I think Mike Wright has been the difference in these two wins. His toughness, his leadership, and his legs have been the difference, in my personal opinion, in the two wins, and give him credit for not getting down when he got benched.
Oh, absolutely. You're right about that. So, Watson, let's talk a little piece of strategy. If you're Clark Lee, aren't you basically saying to Tennessee early, we are going to load up the box, we are going to stop the run because we don't believe Joe Milton can win this game for you. We don't think he can be a consistent passing threat.
No, I don't. I don't think that's what he's going to do.
Okay.
I think he's going to back off of them and not give up the big play and pick and choose his moments to get a big stop. I think what he'll do is say, I don't care how many yards they get. When they get in the red zone, I don't want them scoring touchdowns. We're going to find a way to get them stopped. And somewhere in these drives, we're going to get one big play to get them in a passing situation. And when they've been in passing situations in the last few weeks, they haven't been very good at it. And so I don't think he'll do that. I think he'll have respect for Milton. I think he has respect for the system, and the system scares him. He knows how hard it is when they spread you that wide and they go vertical on you with it, that it don't take but about 3 or 4 big plays and you're out of a game. So we'll see which one he does. I don't think he does that. I don't think he comes after him. He mixes coming after him and crowding the box, and tries to go back and forth and play cat and mouse with them, but not get into stopping them in number of yards. Try to get into it with them and stopping them in number of points.
Well, and I'll say this too, George. The margin for error is just so small for Vanderbilt defensively. You know, I mean, you send a couple guys at Milton and he beats you deep. If he does that a couple times, you may be out of the game.
Sure.
Like Watson just said. So it is different from Florida and Kentucky, because Florida and Kentucky don't have the receivers that Tennessee has.
So, Watson, obviously the check mark goes to Tennessee in the throwing game. Let me take the two scenarios and get you to talk about them. If Milton is pretty darn good, Tennessee wins this game, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
If he is the stiff that I think he has been when I've seen him in the past, then what?
It's toss-up city. It's toss-up city. It'll be a very close game, 28-24, 24-21, something like that. Vanderbilt can score points on this defense unless something dramatic happens defensively where they finally come in here with a snarl on and play better defense. I don't know that Tennessee is capable of playing a lot better on defense. I think they're just not a very good defensive team. I think this whole game, you're getting ahead of us here with intangibles, but I think the whole game comes off of Mike Wright against Joe Milton. And I think Mike will play well. We're all anxious if Joe Milton does.
Okay. Defensively, a year and a half ago when Clark Lee took over at Vandy, I've used the term mid-level OVC ability, and they were god-awful. I didn't think they were all that good for a good while. You know, there's some teams, Ole Miss shredded them in the second half of that game. South Carolina shredded them from beginning to end. But Watson, in the last 2 weeks, all of a sudden, Kentucky, and it's hard to figure out Kentucky with Will Levis hurt, but both Kentucky and Florida found this defense to be a handful. What's changed?
Kentucky finds every defense to be a handful. They're just not very good on offense at all. So that helped Vanderbilt. And Kentucky just doesn't score points. They just flat don't, and it's gotten worse as the years gone on because I think Levis is hurt.
Yeah.
And he's not playing worth a flip. And he's all they had anyway. He and Rodriguez were it. So that one I understand. Florida, to me, I don't know. I didn't watch, but I watched it off and on, so I didn't study it. But why Florida only ran it 21 times is beyond me. You call 21 runs against Vanderbilt? They threw for 400 yards, but that's not Florida. Why did Florida come in here and just say, well, we're just going to not run it today and we're just going to throw it all over the field? And I don't think that's their bag. So I thought they played into Vanderbilt's hands by doing that. I still think Vanderbilt plays the run a lot better than they play the pass. And, Florida is not a passing team. They pass for 400. I think Vanderbilt's Achilles heel is on the flanks. And so I'm anxious to see if the flanks will be there. They got the best receivers in the country, and I think Vanderbilt's weakness is still coverage. And but they got to have a guy get on the ball. And so it goes right back to the same thing we've been saying. And I don't think this game would have even been a thought process if Hendon Hooker hadn't got hurt. Even by losing to South Carolina, if Hendon Hooker's healthy, I don't think we're sitting here talking as much about this game as we are, George.
Right.
But with Hendon Hooker gone, that's a different world now.
So to the intangibles, let me go with the first one. So Banks is back in there, according to Josh Heupel, even though he hadn't told us what's going on. We know something bad went on. But physically, with Banks in there, how much better are they?
Not much. That's no excuse for the way they played Saturday and the way they looked, the way they've looked in the last 2 or 3 weeks, the way they looked against Georgia. They didn't slow Georgia down, and since then, Georgia's just been okay on offense. But they looked like world beaters that day. I think Tennessee's in trouble. I said it to Tony Facilio on a text after the game. He's fussing about, well, this and that. I said, Tony, they got to go recruit. They don't have very many good players on defense at all. Yeah. And I think it's going to show again Saturday. It hadn't shown because the offense has just been so dominant. Well, now you're not going to be able to count on the offense being dominant. So all of a sudden, Tennessee goes from what I thought was a top 5 team. I do not think they're a top 10 team now. I think they're probably mid-20s.
At the moment.
At the moment, right now, I would call Tennessee a mid-20s team. Joe Milton changes all that if he plays up to Hendon Hooker status. And I don't know if he will or he don't. I have no clue.
Oh, they don't know.
He looks better when he goes in late in these games when they're way ahead. That's a different animal than being the man now.
Yeah.
And you got to go win a game. And so I'm really anxious to watch this game and more on the Tennessee. I know what Vanderbilt's going to do. They'll play well. They're not going to beat themselves, and they will play well. This game is all on Tennessee, not on Vanderbilt, in my personal opinion.
And guys, the thing with Tennessee's offense, they haven't made mistakes. Hendon Hooker hasn't made mistakes. That's been such a big thing. And now you put Joe Milton in there. Say he throws a pick. How do they respond to that?
And I'm going to kind of get to that here. By the way, this is not a misprint when we gave Tennessee the home team advantage because they'll have 85 to 90% of the crowd in there. Now, I don't know that crowd will be as rocky top as they were, rightfully so. As they
depends on how the game goes, I think.
Yeah. So
depends on how the game goes.
So Watson, Vandy a week ago, Florida certainly helped them. They gave them a touchdown on the muffed punt. And at one point, I look at the scoreboard and Vandy leads Florida 28-12. And I'm like, am I in the twilight zone? Is this really happening? So how much does Tennessee have to aid Vandy to keep Vandy in the game?
That's a tough one on me because the quarterback play is going to be so critical. He could not turn it over and not play well, George. So that's a tough one on me.
Right.
I don't know that it'll be aiding. Florida aided a lot, but Vanderbilt set it up to where the aid helped them. So it was a two-way street. I thought the play in the Florida game was they're back within 2. They've got them 3rd and 19. They rush the quarterback. He gets out and throws it in the ground, punt the ball. A guy holds on a 5-yard crossing route.
Yeah, it was
and gives Vanderbilt a first down, and they go in and score. I mean, I thought that was the play of the game. The play of the game. So help, yes. But I think Vanderbilt could beat Tennessee without help if Joe Milton does not play well.
Let's look at what Watson thinks is going to happen Saturday. You've got basically almost what Vegas has. They've got Tennessee by 14 and a half, and you've got it a 2-touchdown game. Talk to me about it, and then we'll go to the break.
Well, I think that's Joe playing well. This one to me, I just put a score up there because I have no clue. I think it's Joe. If Joe plays well, it'll be somewhere in this with a bad weather night. They won't get in the 40s. I think it'll be this. If Joe doesn't play well, I'm going to say 24-23, and I don't know who wins it. But I think Vandy will be in this ball game even if Joe plays well, and this 31-17 could come later in the fourth quarter, putting the game away. It could be 24-17, and Tennessee scores a late one, makes it look worse. I think the game will be much closer than this score right here shows.
Okay, that's our tale of the tape. Whether you agree or disagree, I hope you enjoy some of the thought process that we have put behind tale of the tape. When we come back, stat of the day. We need a win. Stay tuned. This is Main Street Media Television.
A man was critically injured following a crash early Friday morning. Officers at the scene said the victim was driving a pickup truck when he lost control of the vehicle. The pickup veered left and went into a ditch. A front seat passenger was wearing a seatbelt and escaped the crash without injury. The driver was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected from the truck. He died at the scene. Law enforcement writes tickets to save lives.
Complete Service Heat and Air can clean your coils, check out your motor, and make sure you have warm air throughout those cold winter months. Complete Service Heat and Air is located in White Bluff, Tennessee. We do service and repair on heating and air the right way. 24/7 service. Call us at 615-797-3997. Serving Cheatham, Davidson, Dixon, Hickman, Humphreys, Montgomery, and Williamson counties.
When I made the decision to host the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night, Strike and Spare is where I turned. And what a wise decision that turned out to be. They have 5 locations in our area with family attractions. They're perfect for birthdays, groups and corporate outings, and holiday parties. For more info, it's simple. Go to strikeandspare.com.
Christmas for Kids is back at the Ryman this November 21st. Christmas for Kids provides children with shopping sprees, coats, and unforgettable experiences every year. This annual fundraising concert helps bring that experience to more kids. This year is hosted by Phil Vassar and includes Chris Young, The Frontmen, which is Richie McDonald, formerly of Lone Star, Larry Stewart of Restless Heart, Tim Rushlow, formerly of Little Texas, Essex County, and a whole lot more. Christmas for Kids, November 21st. To purchase tickets, go right now to ryman.com.
Hit After Hit has become the baseball store in Tennessee. They have over 1,000 different models of gloves and over 1,500 wood bats. They also have several Iron Mike pitching machines as well as a Hit Tracks machine. If they don't have it, you probably don't need it. We're proud to call Hit After Hit the official shirt provider of the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night.
This holiday season, the largest lantern event in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. After sunset, come see more than 1,000 Chinese lanterns. All new designs including mythical beasts, a fantastical North Pole village, even a dragon soaring over your head. Welcome back to Zoo Illumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
Hey everyone, I'm John English. This is Keith Wallace, and we would like to welcome you to John English Antique Sports and Cards in Shelbyville, Tennessee. We specialize in graded and ungraded sports and non-sports cards, vintage wax boxes, and unopened cases. We have a large selection of PSA graded cards. We also specialize in old sports collectibles, baseball, football, basketball, golf, and tennis. You can find it all at John English Antique Sports and Cards. We are happy to be associated with Nashville's greatest sports antique, George Plaster.
Welcome back into the George Plaster Show. It's now time for Stat of the Day, powered by John English Antique Sports and Cards in Shelbyville, as well as Eric Berner with Rockcastle Wealth Advisors. You can find John English, of course, in Shelbyville. They're open, I always forget this script. Where is it? Here it is. John English, and now it's not showing up anymore. Okay, we'll get that to pull up here in a sec. John English Antique Sports and Cards. One-stop shop. Eric Berner with Rockcastle Wealth Advisors. We will get that information out to you. The script just signed out on me, George. So we'll get to
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, John English and Eric Berner. Let's get to Stat of the Day, though.
Oh, gosh. This has been a tough week with these.
All right, here we go. See what Michael's got. Which NFL division or divisions has all of its teams above 500 right now?
Watson, isn't it the AFC East? And Billy, don't you react to this. Watson and I deserve, if we're going to get it wrong, to at least talk about it. Watson, isn't it the AFC East? Miami is over 500. JETS and New England are both over 500. And Buffalo is over 500. Isn't it AFC East?
Yeah, it may be. The other one would be the NFC. The whatever the division the Cowboys are in.
Okay,
all of those.
Let's think. Oh, you might be right. Hold on a second.
I think the Redskins, the Commanders went over 500.
You're right. They went to 6-5. So we're going NFC East and AFC, whatever they call Miami. Is that East?
Is that North? No. What is that? East?
They call it North or East?
East, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
We know what we're doing. We're confident of our skill level. Watson and I have nailed this one.
All right, let's see. AFC East and NFC East.
Got it.
Good job.
Well.
Miami, Buffalo, New England, Philadelphia, Dallas, and New York.
Happy Thanksgiving, Watson.
Yeah, buddy. I can eat my turkey now.
We have reached the 5 o'clock hour, have we
Yes,
not?
we have. And the 5 o'clock hour is brought to us by Middle Tennessee Bone and Joint Clinic. They combine state-of-the-art orthopedic service with a family atmosphere. Whether it's a sports injury, a sprained ankle, or major joint replacement, they've got the staff, training, and equipment that you need to take care of any patient in any circumstance. You could find them on the web at mtbj.net for more information. And that leads us into Underdog Picks, sponsored by Sir Speedy. Whether you need top-notch printing, custom web design, or a direct mail marketing campaign, they are ready to help. Get the quality products, services, and experience your business deserves. Partner with Sir Speedy today by logging onto their website at sirspeedy.com.
Hold on a second. Let me do that one without any reading. My buddy James Warren not only has teams in Monday night's bowling event, but he has donated massive signage. There will be a banner that hangs where all the bowlers see it while they're bowling that is so big, the thing stretches probably, 8 to 12 lanes. It is so big. James Warren has been a great friend. Under the people you need to thank and be thankful for. And James Warren at Sir Speedy, Music City, that's been a great friend.
He's one of them.
Yeah. So I look, and Darren looks like he's totally in the dark.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I need to work on that. I see the same thing.
We have lighting issues.
I think it's the window behind you.
No.
But let's be honest, Watson, don't you think our show would be better if I looked like that?
I'll let you have fun with that one. You beat me to the spot.
But you were thinking it.
No, I really wasn't. That's why I say you beat me to that one. I didn't have that on my mind at the time.
Maybe we could.
I was thinking just to help Darren some way to get him out of the dark.
Right.
Well, if you guys can at least hear me, we'll work on the lighting. I don't know.
Raise your hand. Yeah, raise your hand so we know you're there. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So what Thanksgiving Day traditions does the McFarland house bring to the table?
Well, we make sure to pay the lighting bill so we have light so we can see the food. So that's number one.
And apparently they're a little late in getting the check, aren't they?
Yeah, I guess so. That's what I get for mailing a check.
Put him in. No, wait a minute. I'm a little old school. I'm still paying with checks.
Are you? Okay.
Yes, I am.
They do make checks, so I know they're still available.
Well, some of the banks are a little schizo about printing checks.
Okay. Let's get to Underdog.
Hold on a second. He didn't get to answer the Thanksgiving traditions at the McFarland house.
He said lighting.
Everybody comes here, and so it's great, especially when there's awesome weather. Like I think we're going to get good temperature, so we can go out on the patio and watch games, or we got the games on inside. Everybody comes to our house, and we just sit around and watch football and eat all day.
Vegetate.
And talk and laugh. And,
by the way, we can see you now. Well,
it's in and out.
There we go.
There we go.
So do you have to hide the fact that while you're attempting to socialize and ask Aunt May how her hair is, that the truth of it is you're a lot more interested in Dallas and the Giants? Do you have to hide that at all?
Well, George, I've actually been known to disappear maybe upstairs at times. And over the years of being together with my wife for 17 and a half years, I try to avoid the side stare. And I know what the side stare looks like. And the side stare is get your ass downstairs and hang out with everybody else. So I kind of stopped doing that. But over the years, I've been known to disappear.
Disappear.
In the man cave, yes.
Okay. That was very honest on your end. Now we'll turn it up. By the way, Darren made a request last week to know the order of picking.
Okay.
And what he was doing, even though he didn't mean to, he took a shot at your commissionership by saying you have lacked certain things as a commissioner. And that was one of them.
Well, I took it into consideration, and we will make that change for today, and that'll be ready to go. So,
really,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. As a commissioner, you've got to take criticism sometimes. You've got to take it on the chin, so.
Even if the person that levies it is nothing but a mere shadow of himself.
Yeah,
I don't know what is going on. It keeps going in and out.
I know.
All right, let's get into it. Week 12 of Underdog picks. Let's get to the Week 11 results first, though. No fancy graphic today, but we will run through these. Darren.
Radio style.
Yes. Darren, you took UCLA plus 2.5 against USC at the Rose Bowl, and Lincoln Riley's Trojans pulled it out 48-45. That last interception, I don't know if you were watching live, that was probably a little shot to the heart there.
Yeah, I'll be honest. My head swelled up a bit when I saw it was 14-0. UCLA in control. And then things kind of went the other direction. Then,
was that a knock on wood?
It was a mess.
So
how many turnovers did they have? I didn't watch all of it. I was flipping around. I think I was still dumbfounded what was going on in Columbia, South Carolina. Watching that earlier in the day. I mean, earlier in the day, Saturday, if you were a college football fan and you had the time to carve out and watch the games, it was madness.
It was a great day.
Everybody should have lost, but they didn't. But everybody at the top should have lost. It was unbelievable.
Insane.
I couldn't take my eyes off that Tennessee, South Carolina game, just like you, Darren. But, yeah, that was brutal. USC pulls it out against UCLA. And for Darren, he moves down below George in the standings.
Hold on. You can't give all that away yet.
We'll get to that. But how far did Darren drop?
Billy, let me just say that this is for you and for Watson. This is what we're now in late November, right? And I don't need to see the standings. Like, I just know the vibe. And I've heard from George like 10 times this week on this, making sure that we've got everything prepared.
It's all about bowling.
And it was like, no, really, actually, bowling wasn't even mentioned. It was about the underdogs. And you know what's crazy? Billy and Watson. Back when he was zero, like nobody, I never heard from him about these It was like, yeah, Billy will get you a link or something. I don't know. Maybe we'll do it today. But I've heard from him like 10 times leading up to this segment.
Watson knows it very well, and I've come to
Why
understand.
is Watson staying so quiet? What is this head shake?
Some things never change. That's
wow.
I mean, George is George. Some things just never change.
So Darren and
front
Watson
runner is front runner. That's all
I didn't even need to. I knew he won his game, and I don't even know what the hell game he's got because he's called making sure we're doing underdogs.
Jeez.
Oh, man.
This is part of the scheduling of the show, Darren. There's a lot that goes into this.
Well, there's been a lot going into it all season long, but I didn't hear from you when you were searching for your first win.
Until 4 weeks ago, I didn't give a damn.
Right.
Oh, man. All right, let's move on. Willie is not here.
Yeah, and what's that about?
I don't know. He's at morning skate, whatever that is.
The morning skate. They're going to play the same whether he's there or not. Darren, don't you agree?
Yeah, but that television animal, man, they have a lot of meetings and
production meetings, charts.
So
oh my God.
What Willie has done for me, he's given me his top 3 picks. So I'll have to choose from those. But last week, Willie picked Syracuse plus 9.5 against Wake Forest. They lost by 10, 45-35. Sam Hartman had a day. So Willie, unfortunately, we'll get to where he is in the standings. It's not very good. He needed a bounce back, didn't get it.
He's been told.
Yes, and maybe that's why he's not showing.
What is Darren doing? It looks like he's shifting.
Oh, he's moving it. He's moving into the light. Okay. There we go.
Watson, he is alive.
Let there be light.
Clearly, it was the window, I guess.
It's a miracle.
Everybody's got good lighting. We're ready to go. George.
Hold on. Darren, did you pay for that jacket?
Probably not. No.
Thank you.
Just wanted to get that confirmed before we move on to George's pick.
That may have been a gift.
George, you took Texas Tech plus 3.5.
Sure did.
Against Iowa State. You were confident.
Yeah.
You were riding high. And they ended up winning 14-10. And you are, I'll go ahead and say it, you are in first place.
Well, hold on a second. I believe there's a little more to that game. Watson, that was a book it.
Oh, it was?
Yes.
Watson's speechless.
It was a book it, but you did say double-digit victory.
I did. I actually went back and
that was
watched
a double
the tape,
book it.
and I felt bad about that part. The one thing I got right, Iowa State, their offense is abysmal.
Yeah.
They can't score.
Well, I thought that there was a time this season when I thought the same thing about South Carolina.
I know.
Last weekend was nuts.
Oh, where did that come from?
And where has this come from, George? All of a sudden in first place.
Well, now hold on. Don't give away things. I mean,
Watson.
Don't give it away. You've been saying it all week. What do you mean don't give it away?
I think
go back and
everybody
check out all the shows we've done this week. How many times did it come up, Billy, throughout?
Well, it came up Monday, right away on Monday.
It came up before we even got out of the first section.
Before they played the anthem.
Yes. I mean, good gracious alive, for God's sakes.
Oh,
Your
man.
level of bitterness is.
It's not bitter. It's just what we put up with. I mean, we all just put up with it. We know how it is. Darren's got to have known this for years. So I've just learned this recent.
George, was that a free
Darren's been putting up this with years. Of course, he ain't won many times through the years, Darren, so that probably made it a little easier on me.
George has a red shirt on today. George, what's up with that?
Truthfully, I think it was a gift from Darren.
Texas Tech. He's got his Red Raider on today.
Absolutely. Whatever that thing is.
He's shooting a gun, George, for God's sakes. Man.
Yeah.
Learn.
Okay. Watson, your pick. This was my pick. I picked for you.
You gave him a dud.
I picked UConn plus 9.5 against Army. They lost 34-17.
Why did you do that to him?
UConn's played well. Army, I guess I downplayed Army in the triple option, and I don't even know if they run the triple option anymore. But Watson, I will formally apologize for that because that was 9.5 points.
Well, so don't feel bad because I went from first place to wherever, but I also picked Vanderbilt 3 weeks ago and Hawaii 2 weeks ago. So don't feel bad about my pick because the ones I picked here recently.
Vanderbilt.
Let's say this. I picked Vanderbilt against South Carolina. They play awful. They come back the next week and win.
Mm-hmm.
I pick Hawaii against Utah State. They lose, and then they come back the next week and win. I'm always 1 week behind. So you did fine. No big deal.
What were the ones you gave him that were options?
I don't remember. My pick was going to be Middle Tennessee over FAU. That was my pick, but I was forced, so I didn't know.
And that one hammered. Wow.
That was the one that if I'd been first, I was picking last week. FAU coming to 25-degree weather to Middle Tennessee, ain't no way. Ain't no way.
So Vanderbilt, Hawaii, and UConn have been
I've done good. Yes.
Watson's selections this season.
Great picks.
So am I correct that you do not have a graphic on the leaderboard?
No. So we don't.
I'm here to tell you that I have it.
No, I can't see it.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm going to read it.
No, you get to read the standings today. What's up with that?
Oh, do you want to read it?
Well, I mean, I feel like there's probably a reason you want to read them.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so here's the standings. George is in first place at 5-7.
That don't matter. How many points? I need to know the points for my pick. How many?
35. George has 35 points.
35.
Darren is in second place at 4-8 with 34.5 points. He is a half a point behind George in second place. Watson, you are in third, 5-7, 28 points. So you need a touchdown.
So I'm 7 down.
Yes, you need a touchdown this weekend. Willie, a little bit further behind at 19.5 points. Willie,
maybe
George, how many more picks have we got?
We've got this week, next week, and then
we pick on conference championship week.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure. There's enough games to pick from.
Oh, absolutely. I want everybody to have an opportunity.
Oh, give me a break. I'm just wanting to find. Don't play your little game. I just want to know what's left. Just tell me what's left. And
I'm telling you in plain English.
Thank you.
We're going to have, of course, the picks here in just a moment.
Right.
We'll have championship week, and then we will each have 3 picks during the bowl extravaganzas.
So there's 5 more picks left.
Oh, yeah. You've got plenty of time. But if you're going to take this defeatist losing attitude.
I'm not taking any defeatist losing attitude. I ask a question.
What?
Just a question. How many more have we got? And what is the point total? That's all I wanted to know. Darren, would you like to have known that too? Since we don't even know who picks first, second, third, fourth, fifth. I mean, this thing's kind of gone off the rails here.
If you think this is disorganized, wait for the bowling.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man. Okay, here is.
Yes, Darren, we just asked, just text us something so we kind of know what we're doing. Would you?
Okay, here is as
I've got
Darren.
a lot on my plate.
It's not you. That's his old Billy.
Then that's fine. Why the hell haven't you done that?
I don't know. I mean, got a lot on my plate as well.
No, I'm sure you do.
Okay, here's this week's order.
Most of it's food.
This week's order, number 1, Watson Brown. Watson will pick first, so get ready for that. Number 2, Darren McFarland. Darren, you are picking second, so get ready. Number 3, Willie Donick will be me. I will pick for Willie. And last will be George Plaster. So that's what we've got coming up on Underdog Picks.
Shall we go to a break?
Let's do it.
Got thumbs up from Watson. We can see Darren now. Let there be light. The final picks of the regular season, I guess that's the way to say it, are coming up next. This is Main Street Media Television.
Buying or selling a home can be a very personal experience. Why not go with the team that receives nearly all of their business from referrals? Clearly a trusted name in real estate. The Justin Tucker team with Platinum Realty Partners has sold more than 500 homes in the last 7 years. Voted best in Sumner County multiple times. Proven to be trusted with your most personal assets. Call the Justin Tucker team with Platinum Realty Partners at 615-906-8458. The Justin Tucker team with Platinum Realty Partners, Middle Tennessee's most trusted team in realty.
I highly recommend Sumner Funeral and Cremation because of their caring nature and attentiveness to detail.
Pre-planning your funeral now will bring you peace of mind and less stress to your loved ones. When the chaos of losing you happens, your family can honor and celebrate your life, knowing things are happening just as you wanted them to. Pre-planning determines the details of your funeral, cemetery services, and can be less expensive. We are honored to serve you and are always here for you in your time of need.
Sumner Funeral and Cremation. Traditional, affordable, dignified. SumnerFuneral.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615 847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
This is Eric Berner with Rock Castle Wealth Advisors. I help people in the pursuit of making their money live as long as they do. People hire me because I use a customized, individualized, and personal approach for the person I'm working with. Everyone's situation is different. If you've lost a spouse or a parent and want to make sure your inheritance is utilized and does not just disappear, I can help with that. Call me at 615-235-1058 or email eric@rockcastlewealth.com.
Okay, we're back, and we're about to unload on you for Thanksgiving our underdog picks. Darren, a lot of late information coming in to the broadcast center, and I feel good.
Okay.
I just wanted you to know that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
An update. Yeah.
Billy?
Hey, so George feels good. Everybody hopefully feels good about their picks this weekend. We start with Watson Brown. Watson, you've got an opportunity here. You need a touchdown, so you know what you need to take over that first place spot.
Well, I got two games, Billy. One is a 3.5er that I just know will win, and the other one's a little bit of a heart pick. So Vanderbilt's burned me once already.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 0 for 1 on the doors. They're the one that started my 3-game losing streak here. But with it being a bad night in Tennessee, the way they've been, and Joe Milton just, I don't know. If he plays poor, they got a great chance to beat them. I'm not saying they'll be tight if they do. So I'm going with the doors again. I'm going to let them take me down a second time. It's like I felt with South Carolina. I just can't pass this one up. I got to give it a shot. And if I lose, so be it. But I'm going with the doors and what is it, 13.5, 14.5, something like that.
14 right now.
14, okay. I'm going with the doors.
Yeah, this is the kind of pick, Watson, if you don't take it, if you ended up taking the 3.5, maybe you're kicking yourself saying, man, it was so obvious. It was right there for the taking.
I just can't pass. This one, I've been a part of this game for so many years, and I know how excited you get when you're a Commodore for this game, and I can't pass it. I got to take it.
So there it is. Watson takes Vandy plus 14 Saturday night at home for the for the Tennessee Volunteers on Saturday night. So that's Watson. Darren, you are up. What are you going with this week? I thought last weekend was a really good pick. Just couldn't pull it out. Couldn't quite pull it out with the Bruins. What you rolling with this weekend?
I've gone a little conservative the last 2 weeks, Billy. And that was a mistake. You get the lead.
A little complacent.
Yep. You start just doing those little chips. So this time, I think I'm gonna go a little bit more for the stars. So I'm gonna.
What is that? Is that your kid's science project?
Yeah,
I love it.
It is.
I love it.
My kid's science project, and so
wait a minute. Who's behind that right now? Nobody.
Nobody. It's Maddox's science project.
Good
so,
Rob.
That was good. That was a really good
Darren.
So I'm gonna put a little bit more meat on the bone on this one. I don't know if I believe in it. I was gonna go for it. I was gonna shoot for the stars no matter what. So I've got a bunch of. I've got a couple. I've got all meaty ones, but I think I'm just gonna go for the one that I don't know if I believe it. But in this game, you got to go for it, right? So I'm going to go with Michigan. I know they're in Columbus, but I got to try it. I got to try it.
Minus 7.5. That's the line right now for Ohio State. So
they should have lost to Illinois. I mean, they honestly had no business winning that game. So I'm not exactly feeling great about them. But you know what? I've watched Ohio State this year. Everybody keeps propping them up. I'm not as blown away by Ohio State as everybody else.
I agree.
So, and Blake Corum is coming back apparently for Michigan, so that's big. I don't know if you countered that into the equation there, Darren, but him being back is big for Michigan. So that is at Ohio Stadium, though, in Columbus. So that we'll see how much of an advantage that plays. Darren rolling with the Wolverines plus the 7.5. So big. Those are both those got a lot of meat on those bones as we head into the Thanksgiving weekend. All right, let's get into Willie's, and of course, Willie's not here.
Yeah, he's at the morning skate. I bet that'll really excite the team.
Doesn't want to show his face after a brutal couple weekends here, but Willie has a few picks lined up for me. He says first choice Iowa State, and I think that'd be a great pick.
Yeah.
Second choice Kansas, and third choice Texas A&M. I don't like that Texas A&M pick. You guys haven't picked Iowa State, so I'm going to roll with Iowa State plus 10 at TCU. Iowa State's coming off, of course, the tough loss to Georgia's Raiders, Red Raiders. Iowa State, they're playing for respectability. You don't want to end the season 4-8. I think ending at 5-7 is much more, I think, respectable there. Iowa State's not a very good team. Don't love this pick for Willie, but his next choice was Kansas, and I also don't like that pick on the road against Kansas State. So I went kind of the lesser of two evils there with Iowa State against TCU. So that's my pick for Willie. Iowa State plus 10 at TCU. And we can't forget about Georgia's pick.
It's a good pick, Billy. That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, I was looking at it.
I don't think it has a chance. That's why I like it. I don't think it has a chance.
I agree. Listen, thank you for doing that because they're never going to score.
Willie must have just pulled his phone out, texted me the first ones he saw on FanDuel or something. I don't know about those selections, but
the morning skate froze his brain.
TCU is going to hammer them.
I agree.
I mean, Iowa State, what do they have? I don't know. I don't know anything they've got. So we'll see. Who knows?
Great pick. Love it.
I thought that was genuine for a second, but okay, George, let's see it.
Okay. Did you hear Watson earlier say, I've got a 3.5 that absolutely is going to win?
Yeah. My wheels were spinning. I don't know which one he's talking about.
Oh, I have it circled right here from earlier before we got into this segment. I know nobody can see it, but it's Oregon State.
Yep.
Oregon State has been laying in the weeds.
Is that it, Watson?
That's it.
Oregon State's a really good football team.
All of a sudden, they're ranked in the top 25.
Listen, they're pretty good, and they're at home against Oregon, who they hate, and they're laying in the weeds. Oregon has
Bo Nix has got a bad foot. So
think about this. Oregon gave up a ton of points to Washington 2 weeks ago. Very emotional game. Then they got themselves back up and pulled one out of left field to beat Utah 20-17. 3 weeks in a row? This is a book it. Oregon State. Darren, be watching 2:30 on ABC.
Okay.
Nobody's touching Colorado plus 30. No. They got Utah at their home field.
No.
That's a lot of points, but I don't think Colorado.
I thought Watson would go with his theme of being off by a week and go Florida. They bounce back and then they beat Florida State.
That's a good point, Darren. Maybe that's what I need to do. Always pick one behind what you've been thinking, and maybe you.
So, Darren,
did you think about picking Florida, Darren?
Yeah, I did.
I did too, because I think they'll come back. I think that's going to be a lot better game people think it is.
Yeah, I do too.
And Florida State, I don't know that they're as good as their ranking. Beside their name
ACC
right
is not very good, guys. The
Yeah.
ACC is not very good. They haven't beaten a lot of great people here. But
Let me tell you the other one to consider.
I considered that one, Darren. I had it on my sheet. Yep.
Nebraska plus 10.5. Iowa stinks.
And they're playing for the division championship.
Guys, I know. Have you looked at the over-under on Iowa games this year? I can't make this up. It's like
31.5 Saturday
31.
against Minnesota was the smallest over-under in a college game in over 10 years.
Yeah, 31
right?
and 32 are their over-unders.
And
College
guess what?
football in 2022.
That game didn't go over.
No, it didn't.
And listen to this. If they win, they're in the Big Ten championship.
No, they're playing for the title.
How about that?
They're playing for the division.
And they stink. They stink. And I know Nebraska isn't good either, but Iowa stinks.
Kirk Ferentz is going to be laughing at every media member, every fan that has been ripping his offense if they win. I hope they win.
He won't be laughing if he's
How do you
pulling
guys
Ohio
think?
State in the
How do you
title.
guys think the Vanderbilt-Tennessee thing plays out?
It's an interesting pick, Watson. I mean, look, Joe Milton, God bless his big arm, but if it's 20 yards or less, it's 5 rows in the stands. I mean, this guy, if he wants to throw a 55-yard pass downfield, then it'll work. But if he has to throw a screen or a 10-yard pass, it's embarrassing how off he is on his accuracy is just awful.
And I think weather plays a big piece.
Yes.
Yep.
George said it earlier, too. Every intangible is in favor of Vandy. Weather might be windy. Tennessee is coming off some locker room drama potentially.
Yep.
Vandy's riding high. I mean, they've got all the motivation in the world.
Well, and losing out on the Final Four. I mean, there's
Right.
a lot of drama there. What do you think, George? I don't feel great about it, but I just couldn't pass it, guys. I couldn't pass it up.
It just feels too good to be true.
I think
mean,
it's
for Tennessee.
24-17 Tennessee in an absolute thriller.
That's what I had, and that's why I said they score late to make it 31-17. But it's a
gonna be
close game all the way through.
I think it's going to be a game. I don't know how it's going to play out, but I would be shocked if either one of them mopped the other one. I would be shocked.
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
Darren, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Thank you, as always, for doing this and being a good sport. I'm shocked at the accusation that I rubbed it in. I just – there's a lot of bowling stuff that I have to take care of.
You weren't
me.
rubbing it in. It was just weird how many times you wanted to reach out and make sure that everybody was ready for this segment today or segments, That's all. You weren't rubbing it in. You just were. You seem to be very anxious to get to Underdogs this week. That's all I'm saying.
Darren, I will say this. Willie is the smartest one of the bunch of us.
He said, I'm out of here.
Put up with this today. He did not have to listen to all of this today. He's the smartest guy of the bunch. Tell him that. My hat's off to him. He figured out how to
tired
pull
of hearing
this off.
about the morning skate. Do points get awarded for morning skate?
Good luck with your picks, guys. Somebody's going to reach for the stars and get it this week.
Thank you, Casey Kasem.
That's a really good project.
That's hilarious.
He got an A+. I was proud of him.
He should.
That looks
He
great.
should.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Happy
you guys.
Thanksgiving,
Good luck.
Darren.
Thank you, Darren. Good luck, buddy.
Okay, we'll go to the break, and then we will have the Plaster bets of the day, and I'm adding one in just a minute that I feel like I left out, but it's going to be on the list, Watson. I know you're excited.
Can't wait.
Stay tuned. This is Main Street Media Television.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonleyTimmons.com.
At WellSkin Dermatology and Aesthetics, we pride ourselves in providing access, innovation, and a patient experience second to none. Access to care and treatment when you need it. Innovation with medical-led cosmetics and various on-site technologies for full-service treatments with a customer experience that is calming, casual, and effective. Independently owned, providing medical, surgical, pediatric, and cosmetic dermatology and more. Visit WellSkinMD.com to schedule your appointment today. WellSkin Dermatology and Aesthetics. Access to healthier skin. It's your last chance to get a spring tune-up for summer. Complete Service Heat and Air can clean your coils, check out your motor, and make sure you have cold air on that first hot day of summer. Complete Service Heat and Air is located in White Bluff, Tennessee. We do service and repair on heating and air the right way. 24/7 service. Call us at 615-797-3997. That's 615-797-3997. Serving Cheatham, Davidson, Dixon, Hickman, Humphreys, Montgomery, and Williamson counties. Have you heard about the high levels of radon in Middle Tennessee? Radon gas is the second leading cause of lung cancer, second only to smoking, and has no color, no taste, and no smell. The only way to know if you have radon is to test for it. Duret Radon Mitigation offers testing for small and large-scale residential and commercial properties, plus mitigation services. Visit DuretRadonMitigation.com to request testing or get a free estimate for mitigation. That's DuretRadonMitigation.com. Since 1865, the First Baptist Church of Gallatin on Winchester Street has served its community by catering to the least, the last, and the lost, providing a church of welcome used by God to save the lost, transform the saved, and impact its community. As a proud multi-ethnic congregation, Pastor Derek Jackson personally welcomes you to join them in fellowship Sunday mornings at 8 in person or at 1045 in person or online at firstbaptistgallatin.org. First Baptist Gallatin on Winchester Street, serving with open arms as a true church of welcome.
Welcome back into the George Plaster Show. It's the final segment before Thanksgiving. Plaster's Bets of the Weekend, powered by Bart Durham Injury Law. Since 1975, Bart Durham has aggressively protected the rights of a broad range of victims of car accidents and personal injury in both Tennessee and Kentucky. If you, too, have seen your life interrupted by an injury on a highway, in a hospital, or at your workplace, let their attorneys do the work fighting for the full financial compensation that you need. Learn more about Bart Durham Injury Law by logging on to bartdurham.com. Okay, let's check the results from last night. George got another win, Watson. 78-77. Ohio U pulled it out.
Yeah, pins and needles on that one.
Oh, yeah. When's the last time he was above 500? That'd be a great thing to research.
August.
First week.
Yeah, honestly, probably early September.
It's been a while.
I've been sitting behind that 8 ball for a while, so it was nice.
A lot riding on these picks. You could be right below 500 after a couple of these weekend picks, George. I do have a few of these graphics here to show up, and we start Ole Miss, Mississippi State, the Egg Bowl.
Yeah, I just think Ole Miss is the better team. Now, they didn't show it Saturday at Arkansas, but I think that gives them even more incentive to come fighting back. Watson, as you know, this is an ugly rivalry. Probably the most underrated rivalry in college football. They hate each other. How do you feel about it? I think Ole Miss covers this.
I don't know. I think it's toss up. It's going to be bad weather there, from what I understand too, and that plays a little bit more to Ole Miss over the Bulldogs. But I've been in that game twice, and the favorite don't win it a lot of the time. So I wouldn't know how to pick that one. I would stay away from that one if I was having to pick.
Keep going, Billy.
Okay, let's move on to the NFL. Minnesota and New England on Sunday. That's Thursday, right?
It's tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I think what's going on, Vegas, this line would have been about 6 a week ago, but Minnesota got decked by Dallas. And the question is, do they get off the mat or do they go into a funk because of the way Dallas humiliated them? I think Minnesota comes fighting back. New England probably won't score a ton. And so I'm going to take the Vikings minus the 2.5.
Okay, let's move on. College. 2-team teaser, Ohio State, Michigan. Who you got in that one, George?
Well,
and then Oklahoma State plays against
West Virginia.
West Virginia,
I think West Virginia has quit. Not that Oklahoma State's been anything to write home about, but I think West Virginia has put a stamp on it and mailed it in. I think Ohio State wins the game. I don't know if they win by 7.5, but I think they definitely cover in a 2-team teaser.
Oklahoma State, too. They look like a totally different team.
Without Spencer Sanders.
Yeah.
When he's in there, they're pretty good.
They don't look like a very good team right now.
So. Watson, I trust you like all these so far?
Yeah, 100%. Go for it, man.
It doesn't seem like
I'm good.
Doesn't seem like it.
No.
Next one. Watson, see if you like these. Another NFL teaser here. Philadelphia, -1. Dallas, -3.5.
Dallas is tomorrow. I think the Giants are reeling. I think one of two things happens. Either the Giants sort of get themselves back on track tomorrow in Dallas, which will not be easy, or they just start a little bit of a free fall, which is what I think is going to happen. Philly's at home Sunday night. It's the Sunday night game against Green Bay. And who knows what Green Bay is at this point?
Who knows?
Anyway, that's where I'm going.
I've never bet on a game in my life, so I can't. I don't know. I sure don't understand.
It's weird because you're such a football guy, Watson. It's hard to talk about it from a betting perspective.
I can't. Yeah. I've never bet on a game in my life, and I dang sure don't understand a teaser. So when he goes this teaser crap, I have no idea what he's talking about. So.
Well, and the way betting people talk about football is totally different.
Others
than
watching this
guys.
do.
Oh yeah, I'm being honest. I'm really not the one to be asking about this.
He loves the teasers.
Keep going.
That's it for the graphics. But your last pick is Oregon State.
I think are there not two that I gave you?
No, you got Minnesota, Ole Miss, Ohio State, and Oklahoma State.
Well, you had one, George. Whatever you want.
You didn't go Titans.
Oh, I didn't go Titans. That's my bad.
Watson, I just think the Titans win this game at home Sunday. I just think they find a way. They've been finding a way now for a month.
I don't think they'll find. I think they win pretty good.
Do you really?
Yeah, I think they win double digits.
Oh, I like it. And finally, Watson, I'm taking Oregon State.
Oh, that was my pick.
Yeah.
If it hadn't been Vanderbilt, I just couldn't pass it. Would anybody have took Vanderbilt if I hadn't?
I don't know. I'll say this. I thought about it.
If I'd have taken Oregon State, would you have taken Vanderbilt?
Might have.
Yeah. But the Oregon State was the one I thought was, out of all that whole thing, they play in Beaver Stadium. That was my pick.
That's an underrated place, especially
it's a tough place to play in, especially with Oregon coming to town.
Yeah.
I mean, that place will be wild.
Watson, you've asked about the Tennessee Vanderbilt game. I think if Tennessee doesn't get out early and play from a margin then I think this gets really interesting. If they
longer it
jump out
goes.
14-0 or 17-3, then Milton can get a comfort zone. If he's not able to get a comfort zone in this game, who knows what happens?
If he plays like we think there's a chance he will, it's a toss-up game.
Watson, let me ask you
if
this.
he plays just average, I don't think they'll beat him, George. If he just plays a good, solid game, I don't think they can beat him, but I'm not sure he will.
Publicly, Clarkley, he's going to downplay the meaning of this game, but this means a lot, Watson. I mean, this means a lot to Vandy people. It may not mean as much to Tennessee fans and their people, but I think it means a lot for both teams on Saturday night.
Tennessee, it don't mean a lot to Tennessee unless they lose it.
That's how it's always been. I mean, even when you were coaching, what is it like playing in this rivalry?
Well, it's just I never had to do anything as far as motivation. Everybody, the kids love this game. I mean, we always played good in it. On all the times I was there, as a player, as the GA with Steve Sloan, offensive coordinator, head coach, I never was with a team that did not play good in this game. Every game, Vanderbilt always played. We didn't win them, but we always played better than we were in this game.
Okay, as we wrap up the show, we've been at this now for almost 5 months. And to say I'm thankful to these two guys is an understatement. Watson Brown's expertise, gosh, the ability to lean on that for the different segments that we have. Cannot say enough thank you to a guy that has been an incredible friend to me for a long, long time. Billy, the job you have done in putting all these graphics and putting all these stuff that we've tried to throw into this, you've done a phenomenal job, and I'm very thankful that we've brought you on here. You've been a great addition.
I appreciate it, George. I mean, there's no two guys I'd rather be working with. It's been an honor, and I'm excited to keep rolling. So happy Thanksgiving to you guys, and hopefully you guys don't eat too much. But we know you'll be watching a lot of football.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I will, and George and I have fun with each other, but we go way back. George is I'm very proud of George and all he's done in his career in his field, and very proud of him. Always been there with him through his ups and downs, and he's one of the best. And Billy, what you've done, man, the hours you've put in and the good work you do with this show, I mean,
unbelievable.
This is basically a 3-man show.
Pretty much.
But you're the one, George and I just get up and have fun. You put all the work in, and I know George does too, but I think both of us would say to you, man, thanks for the hard work, because a lot of guys your age don't do that. And you've taken this on and by the bull, by the horns, and you've gone for it and done a really good job with it. So thanks for your hard work, man.
You got it. You got it.
Watson, happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you guys. Enjoy it.
See you, Watson.
Soon. And happy Thanksgiving to all of you who watch this. Thank you very much for the support of the show. Man, we have been really blessed in that area. Friday, we will have a best of show. Monday, our show will originate from the Hermitage Strike and Spare, where we will have that night, the second annual Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night. Very excited about that. Also, really excited about the fact there will be a group of about 30 kids from the Martha O'Brien Center who will join us from 3 to 5 p.m. That is my next move in this bowling deal, is to get a full slate. We're doing kind of a smaller deal, but next year we're going to expand that and get a full batch of kids to have fun with us. Happy Thanksgiving. Remember, you live in the greatest country in the world, and be thankful for that. We'll see you Monday.